Thank you very much for your valuable advice and sharing your wealth of knowledge and experience with everybody present here today. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to yet another very special moment. I have the pleasure of inviting our chief guest, who currently holds the position of Chief Operating Officer and Chief People's Officer of the Sri Lanka Telecom PLC. A current portfolio spans networks, projects, regional operations, corporate strategy, telecommunication regulations, tariff, program management, risk management, quality assurance, information security, cybersecurity, supply chain management, legal, administration, facility management, revenue assurance, fraud management, and business continuity management and human resources of the group. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a fellow chartered engineer by profession, holds a BSc Engineering Honours degree from the University of Peradeniya, specializing in the field of electrical and electronics engineering, and he is a fellow member of the Institution of Engineers Sri Lanka and holds a Master of Business Administration degree from Anglia Ruskin University of United Kingdom. He joined Sri Lanka Telecom in 1991 as a telecommunications engineer. After graduation, counts over 33 plus years of multidisciplinary experience in the telecommunication industry in the field of engineering, human resources, while being instrumental in new business development, innovation, and transformation programs at various stages. Ladies and gentlemen, he has held multiple leadership roles in his career with more than 22 years of experience in corporate management of telecommunications. Well, during his career, he has gained extensive industry-related knowledge and trainings from national and international academia in a number of countries. Further, he has undergone several certificate courses in other disciplines in strategic management, corporate financial accounting, marketing, secretariat services, and general management. And he was a trainer of Commonwealth Telecommunication Organization programs. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I have the pleasure of inviting our chief guest, Engineer Prabhath R. Ambegoda, Chief Operating Officer and Chief People Officer, Acting Sri Lanka Telecom. Over to you.
Good afternoon, all of you. Thank you for nice introduction. Honorable President, IESL, Mr. Randy Chayalat, Honorable Past President, Professor Ranjit Desarayaka, President-elect, Engineer Mr. Kosala Kambardenia, all past presidents, Secretary of the IESL, the members of the subcommittees of IESL, members of other members of IESL participating, vice presidents, and especially Mr. Samantha Gunawardena, the today Education Committee Chairman and Vice President, and all other distinguished guests, invitees, especially the parents and family members of the awardees today. Not that forgetting that most importantly, the participants who are graduating as young engineers, as chartered engineers and industrial professional engineers, as well as the new graduated engineers. My dear friends, so it's very pleasure and proud for me to be here. I especially appreciate and accept my sincere appreciation to the inviting me as a chief guest for this joyous occasion for the IESL. And my congratulations to all of you, those who are getting the awards and certificates today at your extraordinary accomplishments with hard work. My best wishes to all of those who are starting your career as prestigious chartered engineers in the rest of your life. and taking responsibilities of yourself and your society from today onwards. I appeal you shall play an important role in shaping the future of the country and this world with this qualification. The world has been changed to this level primarily because of the engineers' contribution at large. Therefore, your contribution in future is the one you need to be mindful how it could be and how you can do well in your responsibility. Dear President, though it has been not rightfully communicated, I hope, enough to the public about engineers and engineering professions role globally, which had been marvelous, doing a marvelous job silently in making today's world so beautiful. We experience today convenient, comfort, security, and a lot of uplifting of our lifestyles because of the engineers' contribution to the world. The valuable contribution to move the world better place for all, not only for engineering personalities, but to the all other industry verticals such as medicine, education, transport, etc. Recent Act of 2017 enacted in Sri Lanka for the engineering profession, I hope that has taken an aggressive step to fill this gap and add some reasonable governance to the engineering profession. But I hope needs more steps to be longer, stronger legal base in future for discharging the rightful excise for the professional engineers in the society. To start with my speech, I used to mention about my company, Sri Lanka Telecom, which is about 167 years old, which is being in the society for quite a longer years. When I'm working there since my graduation, about 34 years, as of today, where it started, transform the company as a business institute since then. I was fortunate to come to the top of the ladder, where it's about 8,000 employees as at present. It is, I believe, is a result of committed and patient and professional life with integrity of mind. I did not compromise some important values. However, it paved the me. We have many success stories in the company, sailing even the rough seas in many occasions, to the challenges generally comes to the industry time to time from different contexts in terms of competition, regulation, technology changes, return on investments, customer satisfaction, cash flows, project managements, so and so, especially like in COVID and economic recessions, which had been very successfully met and moved forward the company with a lot of achievements. So we have more than 600 engineers working there, so that we have experienced a lot of different contributions and marvelous achievements by several, while we understand that some of the areas which we want to develop to uplift our profession in one day into a different state as compared to today. The continuous transformation during last few decades, especially 3.0, 4.0 industrial revolutions happening these days, the rapid technological advancements, especially in the field of IT and telecommunications. However, with my experience during the tenure, it's vital to discuss further improvements in the engineers and engineer profession in better decision making and participate in decision making. Some of the business viability is related with other factors like cash flows, business models, strategies, value benefits, so and so, to be amalgamated with the decisions of the engineers, which is very critical for upliftment of the society. I try to mention, especially with the new engineers, new graduates for the chartered engineers, in addition to what the roles and responsibilities, the ethics and other things were explained by President and Vice President while ago his speech. It's equally important that engineer to discharge in the society, compile with many other skills and knowledges, and really using them for their decision making. Because engineers are taking decisions for the future, a lot of technologies, a lot of investments, and many other activities are dealt with. Future is with a lot of transformation. So changes and transformation need to be handled with all these factors together. So your skills and capabilities as a practitioner engineer is critically important. So I would say primarily three things which you want to remember when you are practicing in the industry to be a successful candidate. One is competition, second is opportunities, third is challenges. You know, competition is intense. It's come from outside, you know, dealt with. Opportunities are huge because globalization is happening and you have a lot of access to the, with no boundaries. And challenges are daunting, which you need to face. You can work in a government, private sector, or entrepreneurship in a day, but you are dealing with two markets, maybe domestic and the global. However, it's very important to see that the global market is at your doorstep, which you can really should deal with. With a lot of technologies around today, we don't see that we are working in the domestic market or domestic industry. So you need to think of how you can exploit and bring the things into the global market. I don't think that global market is away, but if you think that what is around you with you at the moment even, the phone coming from say maybe USA, car coming from Japan, maybe clothes coming from another country like Singapore, some digital gadgets from China and so on. That means that you are really equipped with a lot of things which has been produced and dealt with other countries, and you need to do the business in the same context where even the domestic market is a global market. And fortunately, because of those companies doing well in the global companies, we are enjoying with those equipments and we are having a good life today's context. So that you can't be domestic. Really, you have to be part of that world in a day. So if we try to learn something from global companies, those who are success in that rate, what is the factors behind that be known? I would say they believe competition, and competition has become the great guru of their industry. This is the real world. Every day they used to learn from the competition. It is the exceptional ability for a practicing engineer to operate by using all these learnings day by day. They naturally create processes, practices, and so many things to become more and more customer-focused and employee-oriented, which naturally becomes their key success factors and key drivers for differentiation. Though you are an engineer, you need to really understand what are the progressive elements in the marketplace. I will discuss two things that with you which will be really useful for your life in one day. Narayani Murthy, founder of Infosys, expressed that the same thing, which is the embrace competition with enthusiasm is the most critical success factor for global companies. So ability to use the power of human brain is the one we need to think of, which always talking about. How it can be done is really creating competitive, progressive mindsets of the people and in your team. That is not costly. If you can fill with confidence, curiosity, open-minded, and desire to try new ideas are key factors which can make you better and better. Only those who are having progressive mindsets have become success in the real world. So it is important to create an environment at the workplace in your, whether it is come from CEO or janitor in your company, everyone come to the workplace should be in the morning with some can-do and will-do attitude. So this is where the success coming in, together. Not as a one single individual can do, making it better. In contrary to that, the danger what you need to understand, if you do have the negative mindset like regressive mindset, which I have seen in my life with many individuals when I work in 3 decades in the industry, some are not comfortable to participate in several opportunities they have, thinking that it's not their duty, or participating it will make some troubles, it's unwanted, and that is some other's job, something like that. However, please remember, whether they could well experienced and talented, I have seen most of them has gone for some frustration because when they are getting when they are having some opportunities to get some promotion and the opportunities, so no one come forward to select them. So when you are beginning your career, try to be mindful about the whatever the opportunities you get to participate with certain other jobs. Don't miss that chance. Secondly, it's very critically important factor is the leadership. Everyone has the potential to become a leader. Leader is the agent of transformation and is not a label or a post. Transformation means that is a big ticket change. However, no transformation is possible without a competent leadership in the industry. So can you identify who is this leader? No one is designated as leader in the industry, but there are a lot of leaders. There's an internal inertia, which is full of highly motivated, energetic, enthusiastic, confident, working hard, with a lot of courage, and especially the disciplined people. Do you have such energy with you? Please think of. It is not something that you can learn by books. It's something you need to develop within you only by working. It is engaging with activities wherever, whenever you get with others. So please try to improve yourself in these two aspects, especially when you are moving up your ladder. I don't want to discuss many more things in relation to some other important areas, but I'd mention one thing which is very important, that is execution. The intelligent execution is very critical. Nowadays, everyone knows that is very valid that all the businesses shall be built on with maximum use of technology, automation, digital transformation, AI, robotics, cloud native, and so on. So please think of that, how fast, how good you can incorporate those technologies into your systems and make a difference in your whatever you do in your life. Finally, I wish to tell, further this certifications, awardings, what you get today, I have highlighted two things I think you can remember, which is not costly or which is not difficult, but it's very important in your life. Please improve your competitive, progressive mindset, which is inside you, and your leadership qualities continually. This great institution, IESL, expects you to discharge your duties in a manner that will reshape the future of the country to make it better social and economic enhancement of the country. Hopefully, you can win the world, and please prepare for the same. You need to live with a big picture, not a very tiny need of the day, because you are a social person from this certification onwards. Wish you all the very best and courage to change the world to a better and better place tomorrow. I wish to conclude my speech. May your journey ahead be filled with purpose, progress, and pride. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your thought-provoking address, your words of inspiration and encouragement. Thank you once again.